So what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to talk about AST Spacemobile. Look like the market may have topped out. I'm going to give you all some ideas that I'm seeing on the chart that will give us that information and to possibly get prepared to see this stock go down. Yes, we all know if you've been in the market before, stocks go up, stocks go down. And it looked like AST is prepared to go down. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about because the market continually gives us information that we are able to utilize to our benefit. And all of the content that I create here is merely just that. We're breaking down the breadcrumbs, the footprints, the fingerprints of the market so that we can anticipate where are they trying to take this price. So if you find it interesting, if you find that very powerful, that we have the ability to follow the footprints and get prepared and already be in position to capitalize, follow me. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. So now, we did a price prediction in AST all the way back in September 23rd, 2025. And we was looking for the stock to go up. Now, we didn't know how high the stock could go. Why? Because there wasn't no historical price action in this market for AST. Not one. So this was in uncharted territory, a new frontier, because we don't know how people are going to act in new price areas. And this is what happened. So we just created a prediction saying, yeah, it can make all-time highs. We ran up there to like 18.63%, up there around 65 bucks. And the crazy part is that this market has been so extremely bullish that it took it a couple of days for us to see that 18, almost 19% run up. So yeah, good call. If we were to get out on the close of Friday, check that out. 52% run up. And then at the high of the market, what's that? 86, almost 87%. Crazy. How were we able to predict that? Because as always, they give us information. So now we are going to talk about what's next. Now, I started out the video telling you, let's go ahead and get rid of that sell pocket. I started out the video telling you that we may have seen this market top out right now. And the reason is, let me give you the first reason. It's because we have sellers in the market right now in AST and they're all the way up there. Somebody finally let go of their position. Okay. Now, don't forget this massive amount of volume that came in on October the 8th. That's going to be important because it's going to let us know who was the buyer. Who was it? Was it the buyers or was it the sellers? Who created all of that volume? So when you take that volume on October the 8th and you compare it and you add it, you combine it with the price bar, it gives you a different story. It gives you a whole different picture of what really happened. Okay? Look at what happened. Yes, the market on October the 8th closed down. But what happened the next day? Look at this. Boom. The market went right back up. Now, when you look at the dynamics of the market, there's only two forces at any given time. Nothing else can move price. So you only have the buyers, you only got the sellers. They are the power forces that move price up and down. So now you know, if this was truly selling going on in the market with all of this power, this volume, why in the world would the stock go up the next day then? That's crazy. It wouldn't do that. It's pointless. So that negates that sellers were the one that created all that volume and they were the ones that were moving the price. That couldn't be the case. So it had to been buying. The buyers were the ones who created that. So right here, we know that this is a massive point of buyers. Okay. So we're going to mark this territory as buyers, right? We got that. We've seen this stock top out now. It topped out 2 days ago, October the 16th. Okay. This is where we'll get our answer if the market is still bullish or if the sellers are still pushing this stock down, because that's what they're trying to do now. This is where the test is going to be, right here. If price breaks that buy pocket that we just created in AST, we're going to look for this stock to go lower. It's just that easy. It's just that simple. Now, there's a gap right here in AST now. Usually, the market likes to fill these gaps. Why? Because it creates inefficiency. Market doesn't like inefficiency. It likes efficient markets. Well, I don't know, it might happen in aftermarket or pre-market, but on the daily chart, there's no trades recorded. So the market, the crook that's at the bottom left side of my screen, he needs to create a market in this area to create an efficient market. So now, we might just see that happen. Let's look at AST on a different time frame, because a different time frame gives us a different story. It gives us a different picture, a different page. So here it is on the 2. Okay. Nothing too much to explain here. It almost looks just like the daily chart. Here it is on the 3. Doesn't look too different here neither. So let's move forward to the 4. Now we could talk. Now we have something to kind of go off of and say, look, this may in fact be the high of the market in AST for a while, because this 4-day price bar, market went up, current one is coming right back down, and we are at a location to where the previous 4-day bar started. Again, we like this information because it gives us a heads up. We would have to give a slight edge right now to the sellers. The only way that we will give the edge to the buyers if we see them hold this first buy pocket right there. This is it on the 5. Again, it looks weak. We notice that the buyers were able to run the price all the way up here to a high of $102. But then they lost control of price. And price ran down on the close right now to 83.49. That tells you that the sellers are winning and that the buyers are the losers. Let's look at it on the weekly chart. This could be a clue of what's to come long term. This weekly price bar right there. So yeah, even if next week we see this stock hold this buy pocket and the market begins to go higher, don't forget this weekly bar. I'm telling you that right now. Here it is on the 2 weeks. Same thing. 3, 5. Now, okay, I'm done. Long term, it does look weak. We need to see this on the hourly chart to get a perspective of whether or not this stock is going to be bought by the buyers. Okay. So now this is AST on the 11-hour time frame. Look. This is where the buyers are on the 11-hour chart. Okay. Price came, boom, buyers came involved. They bought the stock. We appreciate that. Here's another pocket of buying. Okay. I might want to do it. Let me get rid of that one. I'm going to place it right here. Okay. Here it is on the 5. It gives you, like, the market tells us what's going on. That's why I appreciate the information on price charts. I don't need to utilize like technical indicators to the point to figure out who's moving the price. That's the only thing that I'm worried about, because if I can determine who's moving the price, we can see, we can participate on the move. Okay, so right now, buyers are in the market. They're here. Okay, so now we need to see whether or not they will continue to hold the stock, Because if so, we need to be bullish and look for price to go up. If we don't think that they're going to be able to hold the price, then we need to anticipate lower levels. Okay, so let's look at this on the 3. Okay, so right now on the 3, it doesn't seem logical that this stock is trying to be maintained and held. But we need to create this area right here as a sell pocket. So price may continue to run up only to get rejected and come back down. I might need to bring it up here. Right there. Here it is on the 1 hour chart. Okay, yeah, that's still a logical sell pocket though. Right here, that's still logical. So yeah, market is bullish, market is stable, buyers are here. But how high do you think stock is going to go? Like, I'm already predicting that in the near term, from out the gate, this stock is primed to go up. I know that. I recognize that. So we've created these sell pockets right here for that to happen. So if we see AST hit this sell pocket and go down, we know that the market is ultimately still weak. Even if we see it run to this sell pocket and the market gets rejected and goes down, we still know that the stock is still weak. We're anticipating this on the daily chart. Okay, so I'm actually done. We are going to look for the stock to go down, but we do know initially we can see the stock go up for all the reasons that I've said already. But I'm not going to be dissuaded to think that these sellers are gone out the market. So we're going to look for stock ultimately to try to come and fill this gap. At the bottom is 9.87% there. And then we're going to try to target the next area at $67.20 and 19.5% there. That's it. So yes, I'm prepared mentally to see this stock go up. Now, if it breaks these two sell pockets, then we're going to have to come in and reevaluate to see what's going on. Because if that happens, then this stock is still aiming for making all-time highs. It is what it is. So we'll see what happens. But currently, this is what the environment is reflecting to me in predicting where price is trying to go. All right, so let me know your thoughts. As always, make sure you maintain profit, trade differently, because that is where the edge is.